Cool, I'm live. Hey guys, Crypto Kin News here. Sorry for the delay, just had some technical difficulties. It'll be going live on YouTube in a second as well. Hi Santos, how you doing? Hope you're well. Hi Crypto. Over here. Cool. Just waiting for YouTube to actually start. Shouldn't be too long. Yeah, it's not streaming yet. It's a little bit of a pain. Get that sorted though. Cool. Perfect. No, that's all right. Shouldn't be too much longer. I do apologise. Just making sure people on YouTube can actually get on as well. Right. Almost there. Yeah, so I'll be getting new merchandise in the next few weeks. So if you want some, I'm going to put them in a store, and I will let people get them for free. I'm not trying to make money from it. So yeah, it should be out soon. I think I might have to start without YouTube. For some reason, it's not streaming, which is a little bit annoying. I'm wearing a large. I'm wearing a large, but I could do them in lilac copy. Cool. Almost there. We'll start. Almost there. Come on. Cool. What we'll do, we'll just start. For some reason, YouTube isn't working. Cool. So what I'm going to do, guys, I've got one caller, which is Josh from Kin Ads. So I'm going to see if he's on the line now.
I'm the caller.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. What's up, man?
Yeah, not too much. Been quite busy trying to sort this YouTube out.
It's all good. What's your name? What can I call you?
Liam.
Liam. Nice to meet you, Liam.
Nice to meet you too.
I have my doggo Sabine chilling on the stream.
Hopefully everyone can see that. I think I've enabled your video, so everyone should be able to see it. Lee, are you able to see the video? Yeah, cool. Yeah, you're gonna be famous now for having that dog. Cool.
Yeah, it's a rescue dog. So
cool. Yeah. So I was just gonna go through the Cuppa Kin issue 5. If you want to join me, I was surprised you joined in. It was quite.
Yeah, I saw you firing up the stream. I was like, all right, let's see what this is about. So yeah, do your thing. Don't mind me. I'll just be here.
Oh well, you're in it now, so I'm gonna have to ask you some questions.
Go for it.
Cool. Let me share my screen. Cool. Cuppa Kin. Perfect. Cool. So this is Cuppa Kin issue 5. Number 5. Where's time gone? I tell you what, I can't believe it is number 5. I was reading through it and it doesn't feel like 5 it's come out. It only feels like 1 or 2.
And shout out to Lee for putting these together. Honestly, they get better every single issue. I remember the first issue. It was like, oh, what should go in here? And it's just so rich with content now.
Yeah, no, definitely. They've Lee's really worked hard on this. And shout out to Lee. So the first thing, total unique spenders. So I actually did a brief YouTube video on this when it came out because it's a huge milestone. I can't believe we're already at 20 million unique spenders, which is just, to me, is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So
it's amazing. To give people maybe a peek behind the curtains, I remember when we were coming up with the name Cuppa Kin, we were trying to figure out, okay, what did we want? We wanted a blog or a magazine, and Cuppa is like a cup of tea or something like that. Is it slang? You guys are British, so
yeah, I suppose having a cuppa is what we can say in the UK.
Okay. So this has got that British spin on it.
Yeah, it's definitely got a British spin. And then Lee's just said, yes, that's correct. Cool, yeah, so the first thing I notice when you go into it, there's an exclusive article. I'll just make it full screen. I don't know if you can see it as well, if you're a guest. But the first thing you see is obviously all these apps. What's your guys' favorite apps in the ecosystem? Have you got a favorite as well?
I really like PureBet. I think PureBet has high utility for Kin on the spend side. So for me, the big cool thing for Kin is like you have to have high price spends because that then means people want to go out and buy it or get it. And so PureBet actually has that utility because it's a gambling app. Like instead of betting 1,000 Kin, you want to bet 10,000 Kin, right? Everyone wants to bet more. So there's high utility to go get it. And that's why Kin Ads, I think, has been somewhat successful there. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think PeerBet's probably one of my favorite apps as well. Surprisingly, so on this website, obviously it says Perfect 365. That's the first app I actually seen used without anyone in the ecosystem. So I actually knew about Perfect 365 from years ago from people using it at my work. And when I actually joined my new workplace, I was speaking to a woman there, and she actually knew what Perfect 365 was and was actually using Kin within the app. There was, I don't know if it's still in there now, but you could still buy makeup tutorials and designs and stuff in it, and it was just so bizarre. Like I went down to the sales showroom, and next minute she's using that app, and I'm like, wow, Kin is actually used by, users outside of this ecosystem, and that's when it hit me, thinking, wow, we're gonna have a tsunami of demand. She didn't know what Kin was. She didn't know it's a cryptocurrency, but she was using it, and she was buying makeup tutorials or whatever she was doing, which it was amazing. That was a real light bulb moment for me when I saw it happening.
And it's such a like proper use case there too, because there are things that, like, if you will, assets you can actually buy in P365 that are really interesting. The one that I wish that did actually complete integration was IMVU, because I felt like that could have been like a mini marketplace for, I actually downloaded IMVU and started playing around with it, but you could see people in that game, they have like visual representations of themselves. They interact with each other a lot. So
it's a good little app that. I think Swelly was probably one of my first apps actually that I used in the Kin ecosystem. I haven't heard too much about Swelly in a long time. So what I've done, I've actually reached out to them to see if maybe they want to shed some light. Yeah, and shed some light.
I think their founder or the founding team, they exited Swelly. I believe they either sold it or they moved on to another project. I don't want to speak for them, but that's what I thought I heard from Swelly.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting. What else is on here? Mad Libs, obviously Amir's been, I think Mad Libs for me was one of the first ones that came in, was like, wow, this is, Kick was obviously a big app. Rave, I'd heard of Rave, but then Mad Libs came in. They actually had quite a big user base. And so that's an interesting one. And we actually work quite closely with Amir. I'd love to see them have different, and they're actually doing a very big overhaul in their app coming out in the next, few months. I don't want to speak on behalf of Amir, but they have some exciting things coming. And from what he said to me is actually that Kin is going to be a part of that. So, and continue to be a part of that. They're obviously big believers.
He's a really nice guy, actually. I've had a few chats with him. Hopefully I might be able to get him on a podcast at some point, because I think the community would really like that. I certainly would anyway. I'm sure at some point he'll be able to shed some light on what's happening behind the scenes. But and then you never know, we might get Ted on here one day.
Hey.
Yeah,
he's silent right now, but
you never know. He could be watching with his purple hoodie.
Yeah, there was actually on Twitter. Speaking about Ted, there's a gentleman named Jay Sparks who's a guy from LA, a video producer from LA, and he actually tweeted something that made a lot of sense. He tweeted out the Facebook Libra playbook when the early days of the Facebook strategy was laid out. And it was just rumors. And actually, Ted made a post on Medium about it. And it was literally exactly what Libra ended up doing, which was really funny. So I think the big shame in the whole SEC situation and just kind of the negativity in general is that he's just decided to be quiet. And, I don't know what his reasoning is behind that, but, it's kind of a shame because he is a visionary.
It is, no, it's a shame. I mean, Ted was the one who got me involved in the project. Listening to him and his AMAs, you could just see his passion. He was so passionate about the project.
Yeah.
And it's just such a shame because all of this couldn't have happened to a nicer person and such a good team. You know what I mean? That they did it for legit reasons. That they created a cryptocurrency to, really benefit developers. And also for use case outside of developers as well, which leads me on to the next point. I actually seen a YouTube video where people in India or other countries was actually using Kin and then selling it to make money. Which people in these third world countries, well, some third world countries, they could use that for a daily wage, which is huge.
Yeah, and actually the monetary value you get from the Kin ads piece, like I think you can watch 7 ads per hour, I believe, or day. I can't remember what it is, but we've capped it. on Iron Source's end, and but it works out actually to being a fair amount of money for, let's say, a daily wage, and that's kind of why it exploded there. And you saw those videos because people are like, "This is real money." I think the big part of this equation is you got advertisers paying consumers directly. That's one piece. The second piece is that there's actually a real market for this. So everyone says, well, why is Kin different than any other point system in Unity or Fortnite, V-Bucks, whatever it is there's a marketplace for it. And that's what's unique to cryptocurrencies is there's these markets where you can then move them to a market and sell right away if you want, or you can decide to hold it and have a longer term view on the project. So
yeah, I mean, it's just all so exciting, isn't it? Cryptocurrency in general is always excited me. There's so much which can be achieved with all these great projects.
I mean, in consumer apps, like this is the one that's doing in consumer apps. Look, like the real world happens in consumer apps. There's no yield farming happening in consumer apps with 14-year-olds these days, but these younger people do spend a lot of time. I mean, just look at TikTok's success. People screen capture their phone, their like Apple time usage, and like people are on their device like 8-9 hours a day constantly. It's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, my little brothers, for example, they both play Fortnite. And imagine if someone like Fortnite integrated Kin and used their, I think it's V-Bucks. I could be wrong. I don't play Fortnite. Yep. But imagine if that was Kin. The demand for millions of users, which will use it. And this is what really excites me. And there's a bit in this article which I'll explain more on why it excites me.
Let's talk about Epic Games real quick, because Epic Games is going toe to toe with Apple, and I've kind of read into it, but I don't know all the exact details. But Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic Games, shout out Tim Sweeney. I think he's amazing. Follow him on Twitter. He has great takes. He actually, interesting fact about Tim Sweeney, he buys a bunch of land and just leaves it as land to just allow nature to have a home. That's literally he has hundreds of hectares of land in Carolina or something. But anyways, their fight against Apple, if you haven't seen the commercial that Epic Games put out where it was the big brother from 19, did you see that?
I did actually see an article, yeah.
Where it was the Apple head dude and talking about Big Brother 1980 or whatever, and then the Fortnite people come in and destroy the screen. It's amazing.
No, I can't remember the exact article I seen, but it was amazing. I can't believe he actually buys land. That's really decent of him, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a fun fact. But back to the battle here. What I understood from it was that they were trying to pull out V-Bucks out of in-app purchase. They were trying to be able to sell V-Bucks directly to customers and not have it go through Apple, I believe was what they're saying. Anyways, it's kind of a proxy for other digital currencies, right? Because you could take out V-Bucks and slot in any other digital currency and be like, why can't I sell this directly to customers?
Yeah, sorry, my audio was slightly mucking up there, so I do apologize. I better change the settings.
But yeah, if anyone knows more about that case with Apple and Fortnite, drop it in the Kin Reddit and break it down a bit more, because I would like to understand it a bit.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be very interesting, and I hope, I also hope that more companies will sort of fight for monopolies, so like Google and Apple, just because cryptocurrencies are obviously here to stay, and there's going to be many ecosystems, I believe, in the future, and I'll support all ecosystems. I'm not just a Kin fanboy. I believe whatever's going to drive adoption to the crypto space is welcome. But I just hope that people like Google and Apple will actually be a bit more lenient on apps and allow them to fully integrate whatever they need to for their users. I know Kin's struggling at the moment, aren't they, with Apple and all the different guidelines. So I'm really hoping that loosens up at some point.
Yeah, and there was an interesting GIF posted about the market share of Apple. Like they're 17%, I believe, or it was like, in the teens there. And like Android does have so much of the market, but it is a major platform risk. Like in any business, you try to eliminate what's called platform risk, which is essentially, you're building a business on top of Salesforce, whatever platform is underneath it. And if that platform changes the rules of the game, your business is at risk of that. And I mean, even with Google, essentially Google could one day say all virtual currencies in the Google Play Store are not allowed to be used, right? And then as a developer, your app's going through review and you can't, launch it. So it is something concerning, definitely. But what's cool about the blockchain and Kin is that the Kin layer happens outside of Google and Apple's control. Like they actually don't really see that it's happening. And this is a big thing with Kin ads is like they just see us running programmatic ads as normal. And the whole incentive layer of Kin is just outside of that, which is powerful.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't realize all of that. So that's really good to know. Has there only been any questions? So I think someone asked a question about spends. Let me just go up the chat.
And I'm probably going off topic. I know you had monthly active spenders up there.
Oh, well, I really don't mind. I'm just really trying to do this to engage the community. This is obviously, I think this is my second one I've done. My first one was more just an audio test. And this one, I just want to see really how many people's interested. But I think for my next ones, I'll be doing it really specific. So my next one will probably just be a game for anyone who wants to join in, where you can win Kin and stuff like that. So that's all in the works. But I'm really happy that you've joined in. Actually, it's been really good to get your opinion on everything. And I know you're really valued in the community.
I appreciate
I love
that.
hearing from you. And I love hearing from you as well.
No, honestly, it's interesting. And I think this is, like, why waste your life looking at Reddit forums and not being involved directly, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's why I really appreciate you coming on here. So this article was actually made by Will. I think I've only ever spoke to Will once. But
he's a Kin representative. Yeah,
he is. Yeah. So I don't know if this was. I guess this was just solely written by him, but it looks really well written. And it's amazing.
And for those who don't know, Will actually created the Kin Bubbles visualizer, which is probably like that is an amazing Kin app in itself.
It is. Let's see if I can get it up. Is it just Kin Bubbles?
I haven't looked at it since he redesigned it. He also created Cat Purse and I believe a Google Chrome plugin. Oh, it's back to the old style, I think.
Yeah, and I think somewhere it said you could toggle it, or I think there was some people in the community asking if you could just change it. So I think that's what he might have done. But yeah, no, he's really helped the project. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate all the developers, but stuff like this, having a visual and seeing all these bubbles popping up as transactions just prove how much it's used, doesn't it, in the apps?
Yeah, it actually is. I love watching this. There was a time, definitely last year, where I was watching this almost daily, and you could see like different apps popping up. I really hope the project is free to kind of grow again and just focus on new projects, because I love seeing it as like a code, and then the community's all like trying to figure out who it is. That was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some in here still. It's like TD something, and I'm always trying to figure out, oh, who's this? And then I have to look on Reddit and try to figure out. But where is it gone? Oh, I don't think it's going to come up now. But there's some ones you see every once in a while which isn't actually in this file which I've been looking at. So I wonder who that might be. Fingers crossed there'll be another app integrating, or at least testing. But But this is the first one in this article it says about for monthly active spenders, which I think is huge. So if you look at it from 2017, the massive jump in 2020, and I don't know which app has really done that, but I think PeerBet for sure has definitely helped with the monthly active spenders. But I'm just gonna have a little look now. So PeerBet and Rave, just absolutely huge. Rave on 1.3 million monthly active spenders.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
It is. It's really impressive. I'd like to see Kick. I would have thought by now Kick would be second, but obviously I appreciate the Kick app got sold, so that there's probably a lot of things changing, and and I'm sure in the future they will up their game. I haven't seen anything new in Kick for quite a while. But I'm very, very excited for Rave, Perfect 365, and Kick and Mad Lips.
What are we? We're 1 year from that time when Kick got sold to Media Labs. It was October 2019, right? We're coming up there in 11 months ago, I believe.
It doesn't feel that long ago, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It only feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I was talking just privately in the council group chat about Ted, and one thing I'll give him credit for and the organization is to sell Kickoff like that is not a small thing to do. Like, A, to find a buyer, B, agree on price and all that negotiation like that. That usually can take a year or more for products to be sold like that. They did execute that pretty quickly. And obviously at the same time, they're winding down the Tel Aviv office, and they're kind of transitioning the project from like a company structure to, I guess, more decentralized structure. And we're still kind of not sure. I don't think the community really knows how that's still going to pan out a year later, but that's a power move right there. I don't think people fully recognize it. There's a lot of armchair people here that, no, seriously, they think that it's all easy, right? Like, oh yeah, building a product and selling it like that, it should just happen like that. But it doesn't. It's very, like, I don't know. It's not as easy as people think it is.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, you can have all the money in the world, but if you don't execute something, right, you're just not going to be able to do it.
And actually, Media Labs, that was a good buy for Media Labs. What we're realizing now in the whole TikTok drama, being sold to Microsoft, is there's actually a premium now on North American built social media apps.
Yeah.
So, even Snapchat has seen its stock kind of, do well. And especially when they were going to ban TikTok, I think Snapchat hit $27 a share. Like people really realized, wow, this thing is very valuable. When previously there was points where people didn't really believe Snapchat was relevant.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Snapchat. Actually, one of the questions, obviously, which we won't be able to answer is, oh, my screen's just gone white. One of the questions was actually about Snapchat and if we think they'll integrate Kin. But obviously, guys, we have no insider knowledge. Oh, and someone's also just said to you in the chat, actually, for you, Josh, any insider around the SEC? I don't believe you know any insider knowledge.
No.
I don't think anyone does.
Anyone who thinks the SEC is going to settle, my personal belief is that they'll take it all the way to court. I actually don't think they'll settle this, at least not in the way to say that Kin is not a security and like everything's kosher. I don't know. I think it goes all the way. Personally, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we can only give our opinions. Obviously, we have no insider knowledge, and it'd be very, very hard to even get any. The judge isn't going to be releasing any information. I'm
an armchair lawyer on that one, so as much as I was giving people a little flack on that, but I'm looking at. Although one thing I'll say is I did have a conversation with Tanner fairly recently when Kevin left, and I don't want to speak for them, but I think what the last session in July with the judge, I think actually in a way gave a little bit of guidance to the community and the way that the judge was thinking about the case. And the fact that he said that Telegram is not precedence for the case, and just kind of told the SEC that, hey, the resolution you're looking for is very convenient for you. Like, that would be good. And he said that the Telegram case and that outcome would be very convenient for you. And then he went on to say that, hey, this is going to be probably new case law or new, a new precedent that he is going to set. I mean, that is pretty, that's very good.
Yeah.
I thought that was a huge win. And like, I think people are looking at this project. I'll just say this. I think people are looking at this project a little more differently now than they did in, before that in June. Like they have a little more certainty that, hey, Kin actually might have something here. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, I totally agree. I took a lot away from listening to the court case. Firstly, I didn't think it was actually going to happen because so many people were dialing in. The secretary was basically saying we can't do this, but the judge said no, we need to proceed. I don't know if you.
And it is 2020. Could they not use Zoom in webinar format? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But it was quite funny because at the beginning, the secretary was basically saying we cannot proceed because there's too many people calling in. I think her comment was half of America's calling in. And you could just hear beeps going off constantly. But no, after that, it actually made me quite confident. Obviously, I don't know if we're going to win or lose. And to me, it's, 50-50. And there's so many different outcomes. I mean, it could be a settlement. It could go to, to a trial. But one thing I was very happy about is the lawyers on the kick side. I think Patrick Gibbs absolutely owned it. Patrick Gibbs was just confident. He knew what he wanted to say. He was doing it to the T. He was amazing. And one thing I noticed was the SEC's lawyers seemed a little bit rushed, like stuttering a little bit, and you could tell they was almost getting a little bit frustrated. Whereas Patrick Gibbs on kick side was just to the point, and he argued in such a way that he just came across just amazing in my opinion. I don't think it could have went any better for him. He just went really good. And I think
and Cooley has a big stake in this because they created the SAFT, right? So
yes,
if this doesn't go right, then their reputation is on the line essentially. So, and I don't know what other legal repercussions there are for them as well. There might be, but so yeah, they have a lot at stake.
Yeah. Well, we'll soon see what happens, I guess. But hoping for the best, obviously. But should hopefully. I'm hoping we see something in a couple of months. But like people say, it's just all opinion. You don't know when the judge is actually going to rule. So yeah, that was gone a bit off topic a little bit, but
no. But isn't this the point of your podcast?
Yeah. I'm all for it. To be fair, I didn't expect you to join in, and I've actually got people lined up for future podcasts. So I'm glad I'm glad you actually came on. So I appreciate that. So on this website, obviously we've gone through the monthly active spenders, which I think is absolutely amazing. It's down here. So what is this? Have you seen this Kin video? I don't think I can show it with sound, which is a little bit annoying, but I think it was their marketing video.
I think Oznat put that together before she left. I mean, it's kind of, I don't want to say corny, but it is a bit corny.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. It's just not my, that's not what I think of, Kin saving the world kind of stuff. Yeah. We're not at the point where making marketing videos, I think, is going to move the needle, to be honest with you. We have to just they have to execute. They have to just consistently execute what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you on that. I did quite like it. Whoever designed it did very well. The graphics look really good, and I was quite impressed about it.
Compared to what we've had in the past, it is good.
Yeah, I mean,
what I would love to see though is like a Facebook. I don't know if you've ever ran Facebook ads, but they have like an ad gallery, so it helps brands kind of visualize their brand inside the ad experience. So something like that, where it's just focused on really like what kind of the Kin experience could look like inside apps, would be kind of, to me, valuable from a video standpoint. So I know there's like scissor reels and stuff like that, but
yeah, no, it is interesting. I've just my audio is going quite bad. I don't know.
Just play it. Try playing it.
I don't know if you can. Probably not. Can you hear it?
It's loading, I think.
Can you actually see it at all? If I go full screen?
Yeah. It's a bit choppy, though.
Is that better?
No. I don't think it's gonna go, but the link is in Cuppa Kin. So
yeah. So if you guys want to see that, you can see it in Cuppa Kin. So just open up the link, which is in Reddit.
I'm happy that Lee is resurfacing it, though, and shout out who made that. That was
It took a lot of time and effort. It obviously took a lot of time and effort. So this is one of the most interesting things on this page, I think, is blocktivity. I don't think we should be fifth. To me, we should probably be number one. Maybe LXM potentially, but EOS should not be top. I believe most of them are actually fake transactions. But even to be fifth, I think that's huge. The amount of operations and activity we've got on our blockchain is just absolutely huge, and that's what excites me as well. We've got a lot of information out there, and if people do their research, they'll be able to tell that Kin is just undervalued majorly. You know what I mean? There's thousands of cryptocurrencies, and Kin is fifth on blocktivity, which is amazing for the price as well. It just proves how undervalued it is.
Yeah. The one thing about the blocktivity metrics, though, is like in the early days, I really did like it because it did show kind of what was happening. One of the criticisms of that metric, and a lot of people in the crypto space have said, well, these transactions are like, a thousandth of 1 penny. So why is this important? And to a certain extent, like if you look at some of these other blockchains here, I mean, the value pushed across even Tron, for instance, is much greater than, Kin is for sure. So it's kind of like, you can have a lot of transactions, but if, those transactions are not valuable from a dollar standpoint, is that blockchain valuable? Right. And that's kind of been a bit of the pushback on some of the monthly active spend or some of these metrics. So it'll be interesting. I don't necessarily agree that it's not valuable, because there are, who has really tackled like the micro transactions in consumer apps, like people thought blockchain was going to be used for in back in 2016, 2017. Like no one's really solved that problem, especially not at a consumer level, right? Yeah. So I mean, if you look at any of these blockchains, like it's all kind of the crypto nerds, using them, myself included, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, Kin is valuable, but what I was trying to get at is like compared to how many transactions it's got compared to other projects, it's completely undervalued. So it has got value, and I believe it's just totally undervalued. I think it should be a lot higher with the amount of transactions it's got currently, but you never know, we might see that change with code and a few releases and exchanges, more apps integrating. Hopefully some of the bigger apps like Mad Lips or Perfect 365 might end up with some killer spends, and we might see it grow.
And sure, it will. It definitely, as the price of Kin goes up, I mean, it will ramp up quite a bit, the actual dollar value of it. But I mean, go to your local, supermarket. I mean, if you're in Canada, it would be like Shoppers Drug Mart. But like, go to your local supermarket and go look at the gift card rack, and you'll see Google Play points. You'll see Apple points. You'll see probably Fortnite has a gift card for their V-Bucks. Like, there's all these kind of points, gift card point systems that are for $50, $100, $150 or $200 denominations. Like, people definitely do buy this stuff. So that to me would be very interesting.
Yeah, no, I think that would be very interesting. I kind of miss the Kinnet, I think it was called, with the gift cards. I tried to purchase a few, but they was out of stock all the time, so they must have just been very, very
Yeah.
popular. But I think that's a killer spend. I think that would cause a lot of demand. Everyone wants a Google Play card or iTunes or Spotify.
Yeah,
Especially
but realistically, like that was not sustainable, right? Because even if you watch like to watch $5 worth of ads and then go buy $5 worth of a gift card, like you know, it doesn't add up, right? So then at the end of the day, the Kin Foundation is covering the loss of that gift card. Well, if you have 10,000 monthly active users going and earning these gift cards, it can really quickly just not make financial sense.
Oh no, 100%. I mean, the price of Kin needed to be substantially higher to make it a viable option for them long term.
Right.
100%. I totally agree on that. So,
But a great concept. I'm with
yeah,
you. A really good concept.
yeah. No, I think once the value of Kin rises, I think more apps could potentially do that, and it would be
Yeah.
one of the best spends in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Um, so
Now,
on this,
what might be interesting, though, really quickly on the gift card thing,
yeah,
is instead of companies offering, or instead of the Kin Foundation going and doing the gift carding through Blackhawk Network, which Blackhawk Network is just the gift carding infrastructure, essentially, it would be cool to see companies that were offering those gift cards. So let's say Spotify, bear with me, would be like, hey, we'll work directly with you and we'll actually accept Kin instead of Canadian or US dollars or euros as the, payment medium, right? Because again, if you're offering 500 kid for a $5 gift card, and the price of Kin is way lower, then, the Kin Foundation is taking that loss. However, if that vendor is willing to accept 500 Kin instead of $5, you know, that actually makes a lot of sense, right? But of course, we're a long way from that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I didn't think of it like that, but that does make total sense. And I think once the price rises, I think that would obviously make more sense. And when the companies could actually use Kin for themselves potentially, when that
Yeah.
happens, and
And it's
not
very unlikely that Spotify is ever going to do that with Kin.
yeah,
Like, bear with me. But the concept of the vendor being the ones that want to get Kin would
exactly.
be very interesting.
Yeah, Spotify is a huge app. They're very unlikely to do something like that. What's your thoughts on the news we've just had about the executive director? Um, yeah, to me that's very exciting, and I think that proves that Kin are you know not not caring about the outcome, but they're pushing forward either way, which I think brings a lot of confidence in the community, and that's probably why we've had a slight rise in Kin's price in the last couple of days. Is probably a lot more confidence come back to the community after seeing that announcement. That's a big job role to fill.
Yeah, and I think this person needs to know what they're stepping into. And I actually talked to William about it a couple weeks ago before it was announced. And I just said, William, just make sure whoever this is knows what they're getting themselves into. Because if you look at the last, like even the Tel Aviv office, all those Kin employees were harassed relentlessly on
Yeah.
Reddit and other parts of the internet. And, that's just not like, that's not cool. I know we all lost money. Look, we all lost money. I don't think any Kin holder out there says they've made any money from this. In fact, they're all down a bunch. I've personally lost money, but like to harass people is just, that's not cool.
Unless if you bought this year, I think in January, you're probably off by
That's
a
right.
considerable amount.
Actually, that is right.
I
And
mean,
that's
yeah,
kind of a killer use case, even if Kin ads, because, one of the apps they asked me, like, why would we do this? Why not just, we just keep monetizing US dollars? I'm like, well, if you were doing this like a month ago, your ad revenue would be 6x what it was, back 30 days ago. So if you have a longer term view of, kind of this project and this kind of network, it could be very lucrative.
yeah, no, definitely. Hopefully we'll see some more things. Sorry, the keeps cutting out. I think it's because I'm screen sharing. So I think Santos has actually sent in a message. So he put less popular streaming service like Tidal might do it, which they might. I don't know Tidal. Have you got much knowledge on Tidal?
That's Jay-Z's streaming service. Yeah, I mean, Tidal just kind of shows that the artists can band together and do a streaming service. I think when Tidal was launched, I don't think people took it super seriously, and then Jay-Z pulled all his music into that. But now it's definitely like there's quite a few artists, and I think artists themselves like they like working with each other. They know each other. Like it's a tight knit community, and if you have an artist-owned streaming service, I think a lot of artists are kind of into that, and has a very niche audience. Like I don't think it competes with Spotify because Spotify has consumer scale. Like Tidal will probably never have that scale. But for a certain type of audience that they want to do, limited drops, and albums only available on Tidal, I think that's amazing. I think that's a great advantage.
Yeah, no, definitely. No, totally agree with that. Right.
There's a comment here. Josh, please tell us something bullish. Honestly, I have nothing bullish for you. I mean, the internet is there. Go kind of do some research and
go
you
Google
can see,
it.
go Google it. Like,
yeah. Well, what I always tell people is I've been getting a lot of comments since being out there on social media about Kin. A lot of people always ask me, have you got any insider information? No, I'm not a part of Kin Foundation. I'm not part of Kin Council. And even so, they wouldn't release any information. They're very tight-lipped, and rightly so. And the amount of price comments I get as well, saying, "Oh, what do you think the price is going to be?" Or in like a couple of months, I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did. If I did, I would have waited this long and tripled my bags. But yeah, I think everyone just needs to, do their own research. Google Kin, look at where they're heading, and do your own analysis on it. Don't believe everything you hear. There's a lot of haters, and then there's a lot of moon boys as well. So you have to be careful from both sides.
And full disclaimer, none of this is financial advice. Do not go out and buy
100%.
Kin.
No, 100%.
Please
This
don't.
is all my personal opinion, and I guess it's your personal opinion as well. So looking at this, like the job role is absolutely huge, isn't it?
Let's dig into this. Actually, I haven't read through this yet.
No.
No.
So just a little bit. So I don't know if you can see like the operations, but so the operations.
I should read this before I came on.
Yeah. So like the operations like nurture the growth of Kin ecosystem. Yeah. Well, I suppose that's going to be the job. In general, really.
I think the key part here of this is like, look, Ted was definitely laid out the vision, and I think Ted has a lot of connections within the industry. Like, he definitely probably does know Jack Dorsey, because in the early days of Kick, Twitter was an early internet company as well, and these guys definitely talk to each other. So Ted definitely has a Rolodex of relationships that has been built from a long time ago. And, people do know what he's doing. He's on TechCrunch. He speaks on all the big panels. That's what Ted is good at. Let's let Ted do that. What's great about this role is that it can bring in someone operational who can actually, I think really refine what's being done and listen to what the community wants, figure out the marketing piece. And then really just, have their own vision for what the ecosystem could be, like the person let's see. I think there's some really
high level person. It's going to have
to
be someone like, in fact, I'll show you down here. I mean, they're looking for 7 to 10 years of operational experience. It has to be someone, really qualified for this. And not being funny, I don't think the average Joe would get into this job role. It's absolutely huge for job description. So I reckon it's going to have to be.
Can you read out some of the requirements there?
Yeah, sure. So there is manage the health of a Kin rewards engine. process. 2 seconds, let me move it. Yep, the manage the health of a kin rewards engine process and its administration and evolution directly
Okay,
and
definitely
indirectly.
needed.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think some more interesting ones actually. It's down in marketing because we'll be here all night if we gonna read
Yeah.
read all this. But like the requirements is what interests me quite a bit. So obviously it says 7 to 10 years of operational experience, or progressive marketing experience with at least 3 to 5 years in senior leadership. That's a huge thing anyway. 7 to 10
Yeah.
years in operation and then 3 to 5 in senior leadership. Who's even got that? You're going to be quite high up.
Look, I'd love to see someone from the agency world, either the advertising agency world
Yeah.
or, like a big dev shop or a game shop, someone who has a vision that how digital assets can play a role in a consumer experience. One thing I've definitely given feedback on is like, how do we talk to UX designers? Because at the end of the day, a UX designer is the one who's going to be like, okay, how do I incentivize consumers to take actions in the apps? Like we talk about developers, that's great when we have smaller apps, but when you talk about large applications or large dev shops, they have designers that are on staff to build these experiences a lot of the time. So it'll be really interesting to see if they can attract someone. I really would not want to see someone necessarily from the crypto space. I'd love to see someone come in from an agency background.
See, I'm very excited you actually said that because I'm under the same, same impression as you really. I think it'd be really good to see someone not in the crypto space to then bring in people who aren't part of crypto. I think having someone in crypto is great because they have the understanding, but at the same time, they're not bringing anyone new. Whereas, a big CEO just say, or a marketing exec from Google joining, this isn't going. I don't think this is going to happen. But someone who's out of the crypto realm joining, who's already got a huge following, would be great because you're bringing loads of new users over to crypto. And that's why I was excited for the Twitch marketing guy. What was his name?
Yes.
I was very excited. Yeah, I was very excited for him. It's a shame that he isn't joining back. You never know, he might apply, but yeah, I don't.
I mean, I don't think that was. I don't know if he knew exactly what he was getting himself into, to be honest with you. But someone like that, and I agree, that was like when I saw that, I was like, wow, like that's a big hire because Twitch is exactly the type of consumer experience we're looking to, the same kind of community we're looking to build with consumers.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been huge, but I think it wasn't the right time for him.
No, and we weren't in the right place as a project. Would they just go from Ethereum to like a fork of Stellar? Like the technology didn't make sense then. And the technology still is like, if you don't have apps that can't use your product based on scalability issues, like, you got to solve that first before you really, can build this thing out.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm very excited for Solana, and I think once we move to Solana, I said Solana then, Solana. When we migrate over, I think that's when marketing should kick in, and I'm hoping that's what they do. But if you guys want to, I won't read them all out because I think I've already been on for, I don't know, like 15 minutes or something down here. I don't know if that's correct or when I first opened the stream, but
that's cool. Yeah, 54 minutes.
Yeah, so I've been on for quite a while. But if you guys want to read it, or if you want to apply, it's on Workable. I believe it's on Monster and Read. I believe. I don't know if it says it down here, but yeah, there's some really interesting.
The other thing is, I'd love to see a female executive director. I think there's too many guys working in this space. So female, would love to see some diversity. Someone with a personality too. Like either they're a personality on Twitter or they just like have a personality. This person has to have a strong personality, I feel like, to be successful in this role.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they need to also have a bit of strongness and a bit of thick skin.
Very thick skin.
You're gonna have to
You're gonna have a meme created
Yeah,
about you,
yeah,
100%.
yeah. You're definitely gonna have a meme. Created.
This space is not friendly at all.
Oh god, no, it's not. So I mean, just look at my photo on this screen. God, that'll probably be a meme tomorrow. Um, but yeah, so this one was just me into announcing really that I'm partnering up with Cuppa Kin to bring monthly video exclusives, which I'm very excited about actually. So if any of you want to fill out the form below and just let us know what you'd like to see, then that would be great. I have got a few things going, and I think it says down here oh yeah, about kicking stuff off with Ask a Dev. I've got a few developers in the pipeline, which I've already started filming with one or two. So I'll be releasing them as soon as possible after we've done a few bits of editing. But I'm very excited really with who we've got coming on. It's going to be absolutely exciting next couple of
Yo, I
months.
want to give you a shout out, Liam. Honestly, this is great. Like one thing in the council, we were doing an OKR session a month ago, and I said like we need to get more like someone to do content or something, and we thought it would come from within the council because I know Addison he used to do the Kin Informant, but he's kind of doing his own thing. You came in with this, and you're doing a great job. So I want to give you a shout out.
Well, I really appreciate that. I've got no experience at all doing any of this, but I've seen that they didn't have anyone in the community doing it. I mean, I've never set up a computer microphone. I've never had lighting. I didn't really know how to edit videos. I've never really done open sort of podcasts or anything, but to me, I really want to spread the awareness of Kin. And I love engaging with the community. I'm always on Reddit. I'm always on Twitter. I had Crypto Kin News anyway, and the amount of questions I was actually getting on there, it got to a point where I was thinking I could probably make some videos on this, and I only see this getting better.
Yeah, of
My
course.
first videos, the quality of them wasn't very good, and I don't know how this is coming out, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying to spread the word of Kin, and I enjoy it, so I'll keep doing it. If I get one person watching or 1,000, it doesn't bother me. I'm just going to carry on doing it, carry on releasing news, and just carry on enjoying myself. I love it, and shout out to Lee. He's really helped me. He's been great, Lee from the council. He's gave me loads of advice, and it's really pushed me forward to do this. So yeah, because it is a big thing. Never doing this before, and then all of a sudden jumping on and seeing people talk about you is quite a shock.
Yeah. I only have like 20 more minutes, but there's some questions on here. I'm actually jumping on a stream with a brand ambassador from Adobe XD. Any designers on the stream, and we're doing a how to build an outdoor discovery app. So I don't do the designing, but one of the community managers from Adobe does it in partnership with General Assembly. So that's what I do on my day job. So I am streaming, always streaming.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, I can tell you're very confident and you know what to say, and there's no sort of like and ahhing like I am. You're doing very good. I don't have too long as well, and to go for everything will take all night. So one thing I wanted to do was actually play the game, which I thought was amazing. I don't know if you've had a look at it.
Oh man, Crossroads.
Yeah, I mean, Lee's done an amazing job.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say to the community, I don't know how many people's actually watching, so it probably won't do very good. But I think what game we're going to play is if someone can work out, just say what number 1 is and what to put in there, I will give them 100 million kin for per one they get right. So
wow, 100 million kin?
1 million kin. Sorry, that's
1 million.
Yeah.
I was like, how much money do you have, mate? Holy.
Well, I'm on peanuts, so definitely not that much. But yeah, so 1 million kin. I'll clarify that now before I get roasted and get some angry people. But yeah, if anyone wants to play along, just put your name in the comments box. Yeah, I meant 1 million kin, Santos. definitely 1 million kin. But yeah, if you guys put your name down and say what number 1 is, then I'll give the winner of that 1 million kin, and we'll just carry on like that. You guys are doing an amazing job.
While they're doing that, can we go through some of these questions before we hop off?
Yeah,
All right.
Do.
So, okay, Code Wallet. So interesting. I didn't have a conversation about Code Wallet to the Code team, but someone that I know did and work with. And you know, I don't know. Back then, it really seemed like they're trying to figure out kind of what they were building. You know, I actually don't know. I don't think anyone knows. One thing about Code Wallet is no one knows what they're building. Should definitely be a center point for the ecosystem, though. I would love to see that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are actually hoping for it to connect to an exchange. I think we know it's going to be a wallet. I'm pretty certain that news has been announced.
Fiat on-ramp.
Yeah, so I don't know who's just said that, fiat on-ramp.
You know, okay, fiat on-ramp in the terms that we as crypto investors think of a fiat on-ramp. Like, for instance, if I'm going to buy $1,000 or $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, you know, I don't think that's the type of fiat on-ramp it will be. It might be something like you buy with in-app purchase, like $5 worth of kin. I think that's what it probably will end up being. So, it's funny that they say fiat on-ramp. Again, consumers don't even know what the word fiat means. No. So, you know, let's temper our expectations that, you know, the Kin Hub, I'll give a shout out to Jivon. You know, whatever, there was this whole like thing about the price and exchange of Kin Hub, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't make sense. You know, honestly, what Jivon proved there, it was possible to buy kin. So yeah. I give him credit. And at the end of the day, I still believe it's a great monetization piece for a developer because, you know, they were all mad because it's on a fair exchange rate. Okay, fair. When you're talking from the standpoint of a crypto investor, I agree with you. However, if you're a consumer buying 100 kin for $1 and you have to go use that 100 kin to buy, you know, a background or something in Kik, you know, at that point, it doesn't matter what the exchange rate is. The developer can set it, and that's how they monetize. And that's how, you know, how do you think Unity developers monetize? How do you think other developers, they sell credits all the time. They sell gems all the time. So like, you know, this whole thing about it's not a fair exchange rate, like, so isn't that legal to do that, Josh? I guess I'm assuming you're saying illegal. I don't know what the legalities are of it, but I do know that credits are sold in games all the time. I do know that. When it comes to currencies and pegging a separate exchange rate, you know, that's a really good question. I think someone should go and dig into that a little bit more because I'm not sure.
Yeah, so it looks like you're getting a few questions. So what's the next one?
Boycott from Google in the future. Yeah, you know what? We actually earlier in the stream, we talked about platform risk. It doesn't just exist here. It exists in a lot of businesses. Anytime you build a business on top of a platform, whether it be Salesforce, whether it be that's the only good example I have right now. But like whether it be any platform, app store, you know, there's always the underlying risk.
Yeah, I mean, we've always got risk, haven't we? Like monopolies and stuff like that don't want to lose money, so they're going to be difficult. But hopefully they will. They'll be
App Store not listing code. I mean, if that's the iOS App Store, I mean, it is what it is. Apple's not changing that.
No, and I think, you know, I think we've got a huge chunk of people, you know, on Android anyway. So I think even if it's just Android for a couple of years, you know, that's still going to be
Remember, 85% of consumers are on Android devices. Exactly. So go where the consumers are.
Yeah.
Like literally iOS is like BlackBerry. No, I don't want to, I'm just kidding. But it is, but BlackBerry in 2007 had a 15% market share. So there you go.
Yeah. Cool. So is there any others? Is anyone else got any questions for Josh?
I'm just looking through some of these questions here. Kin equals early Facebook, YouTube, Uber. I mean, it's interesting because actually on my last AMA, I said if you look at the market cap of some of these social media apps, they've accrued a lot of value. And Do I think a crypto version of a social media app? Yeah, if it fits that consumer, that consumer piece that's mature in the eyes of the law, it should accrue value, 100%. Snapchat needs Kin. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think Snapchat's fine without Kin.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, Snapchat's doing very well for itself anyway.
Everyone but Snapchat needs Kin, essentially. That's my point of view, is the rest of the internet needs Kin.
Yeah. No, definitely. So one said Snapchat with Kin ads and Kin equal 10 cent. I think yeah, I mean, no one can guess the price. There's a lot of people always ask me questions saying, "Oh, when 10 cent?" If I'm honest, I don't know if we'd even get to 10 cent, and if we did, we're talking years and years down the line. But yeah, I'm not going to go into what I think the future price will be, because at the end of the day, it's just my opinion, and it's just no one's going to know at the end of the day. We'll see in the future, I guess.
Yeah, and what's interesting is, unlike, if you look at like Facebook stock, for instance, there you're valuing the company. This you're almost valuing a network effect. One thing about crypto that's amazing, and when I look at price action in crypto versus any other market, is just like it just trades differently. It's totally different animal. The price moves are way more exaggerated in crypto, and I don't know if that's a function of liquidity or what it is, but it just, you're accruing value to a network. And yeah, if you have a bunch of massive apps on there that are all pumping value into it, like, does it become more valuable than Facebook? That's an interesting concept. It could. I mean, it's possible. Yeah. So I don't know. It's very, Facebook is definitely driven by speculative demand purely. Obviously, people speculating on future earnings and whatnot. But I don't know.
Yeah, no. Well, it will be seen in the future, I guess. So maybe that'll be another episode.
Yeah. Again, not financial advice at all. So
no, that's it. So I don't think I can't see any more questions for you, to be fair, Josh. But yeah, no, thank you so much for coming on. That's really appreciated. You're more than welcome to stay and play this game or head off. It's entirely up to you, but I really appreciate you asking.
Yeah, no, I gotta run.
So,
and just so everyone knows, this was completely impromptu. I just put in the thing that I want to ask a question, and Liam could make me a live stream person. So no, I want to tell the community, I want to thank you all for still being here. I decided when I started Kin Ads with Luke and Mikkel, A, to not be anonymous anymore, and B, to kind of just try and stick up for this project in a way that I knew how, so through advertising. But I encourage everyone to contribute on every one of my streams. I encourage you to contribute, create content. I think a cross-app digital currency makes a whole lot of sense. And again, Kin is in my mind, Kin is the one that I've decided has a good chance at it. So, I mean, if that makes sense to you, then just want to thank you for being here. So, yeah, there you go. Win some Kin in this game, guys. All right.
Yeah, cool. Well,
Liam,
thank you so much for joining. That's really appreciated.
See you guys. Love you all. Stay safe. And yeah.
Yeah, cool. Cheers. Thank you. Right. Cool. So I thought how we'd finish this off is by playing a game. Let me get up on my screen. So how it's going to work, if you want to win some Kin, you're going to have to figure out which ones go well in this crossword. So what you do is, if you send a message in the chat box with your username, your Twitter username, or Reddit, then I can send Kin to you. Who won the last contest? I'll be able to show you it in a minute if you like. I've got the person on Twitter. But yeah, does anyone know what number 1 is? So the winner will get 1 million Kin. yeah, you can. Yeah, you can play. I think you might. I think you might get it though. To be fair. So down here you have. I don't know if you can see the screen. You have different boxes. So number one is. You need to guess who it is. So number one is community news podcaster. So who's the podcaster in the community? Okay. Yes. So number one, crypto is it's a Cuppa Kin news. Oh right, do you not see anything on the screen? That's probably why. Yeah, you can't really play, can you, without that? So for those who can actually see, down here you'll have different ones. So the next one is app for watching Netflix with friends. So what app in the ecosystem can you watch Netflix with friends? Does anyone know? Rave. Okay, yep. Let's see if that's right. 2 seconds. Cool. So Santos, you're right. So you'll get 1 million kin for that. I know who you are anyway, so just reach out to me, and I'll send you 1 million kin. So we'll do the next one. I'm just going in random order. So add network of connected apps. What could that be? I'll give a little hint if needed. But that's for 1 million kin as well. So let's type in that kin hub. No, that's wrong. Anyone got any other guesses? Add network of connected apps. So think of adverts. Who else could that be? I should probably do like a countdown timer. Kin ad. So let's try that. Kin. Well, hey, okay, you've won that as well, Santos. So that's another 1 million kin. I don't know if anyone else is actually in here, so you might end up winning all of it. Cool. So the next one, username of second kin representative. I don't actually know this. Oh, sorry, I'll read that out again. So I think it might have said, I might have read that out wrong. 2 seconds. So it's the username of a second kin representative. I don't know if I said that. I have no clue who that is. Or what we'll do, we'll skip that one. Maybe someone will be able to get that out. I do think I know who that is actually. TikTok. What, the next representative? So another one. New blockchain agnostic service. What is that? So a bit of a clue. Think about the new milestones. What's recently come out? So you're saying Agora. Let's have a little look if that's right. Ah, it is right. You're on a roll. I think you're going to end up winning it all at this rate. So this should be a nice, easy one. Make sure you don't Google it, though. Ted's t-shirt colour of choice. Cool. You've got that one right. You've got that. I know. Very easy. Very easy. Right. Okay, so for username, we've already done that one. I don't know if you had a little Google. Another one, funny voiceover app. Which app could that be? So the funny voiceover app. No, that's all right, Lee. You're just making me bankrupt. It's all right. Cool. So I think that was the answer. Mad Lips. Let's try it. You're wrong. No, you're right. Totally right. Hey, if you get it right, you deserve it. It's all good. It's all good. Right. Do you know the charitable ecosystem app? That's all right. I really don't mind. That's perfectly fine. So I'm actually going to do a 30-second timer, or maybe put it down to 20 seconds to make it a bit harder. So, I'm going to do it for 20 seconds. Let me just get to 20. The question is charitable ecosystem app, and you've got 20 seconds from now. Okay, let's have a little look. You also have to make sure you get the complete right name as well. Cool, and you've got that right as well. So, right, 20 seconds from now, pedometer-based app that pays you in kin. Kinfit. Let's try it. Well done. You're gonna win all the kindness, right? Upcoming kin wallet. I'll give it to you in 10 seconds this time. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Well done, Gamba. So Gamba got that one right first. Well, hey, so cool. So that's Gamba. He's won that one. Well done, Gamba. Cool. So economic model designed to promote daily active spenders. Is anyone going to get this? No, that's wrong. And if you notice, it's too little anyway. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move on, because we'll do a time limit. So the last one, monthly magazine from the Kin Community Council. There you go. Oh, sorry, this is Ideal. Cool. You've actually won, obviously, most of the kin. Do you want to just reach out to me on Twitter or whatever platform you use? I'm on obviously Twitter and all the other social media platforms. So yeah, reach out to me there. I'll give you your kin, Santos, and yeah, that's fine. Yeah, reach out to me on Telegram. That's perfectly fine. Gambler, if you're still in here, feel free to message me on whatever social media you're on. I think you're on Twitter, but yeah, feel free to message me. Cool. Yeah, so Lee's actually got the right answer, but I'm not going to give it to him because he was too late and he actually created the questions. So you're definitely not getting it, I'm afraid. Cool. I'll leave it there, guys. But thank you ever so much for joining. I'm not too sure how many people actually watch this, but my next videos will be targeted at various things like a games night, just proper news videos, and it'll be more specific instead of just a generic one like today. But it's been a good test, and I appreciate you all joining. Cool. Oh, that's all right. Thank you ever so much, Lee, for attending, and Santos and Gamba and everyone else. That's much appreciated. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one.